Lakers Nation, what is going on, guys? So welcome back to the channel with the new video this morning. It's Miss 81. My real name is Trevor Field. So today we're going to be talking about some realistic center options that the Lakers can maybe look at through the trade market or some backup centers through free agency. We all know that the Lakers need a clear-cut, center, starting level center, whatever it's, your franchise center, a young, upcoming foundation piece slotted alongside Luka Doncic for the next 10 plus years, because Luka, we all know he needs a lob threat, a pick and roll type of center. And Luka's 26, so he's young. And also, we need a veteran backup center through free agency. So those are the options. But before I get into the video, guys, and break it down for my viewers and my OG subscribers who've been rocking my content for a while, I'd really appreciate it if you could do me a favor. Make sure you guys keep liking so my channel can grow, especially in today's video on my page. Really helps, the algorithm. Obviously, YouTube's going to push it to more people. That way they can comment, share. Make sure you guys subscribe as well. We're on the road to 4K subs, so I've been very consistent more than ever. Almost every single day. I haven't went a day without uploading, so shout out to you guys. And make sure you guys, stay notified for 365 days, because if you guys don't have it on, then you're not going to be able to see my content. So that's very important. I'm just letting you guys know. And lastly, follow my socials if you guys want to stay connected with me in my, platforms. I'll post it down in the description. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, I'm very active on, the gram and stuff like that if you want to talk Lakers basketball, but all that good stuff. So I'm not going to waste too much time. And let's get back into today's video. So about, 15 hours ago, pretty much, I did see a research report coming from Anthony Irwin. I'm pretty sure he's like an insider, and he's just throwing out some names, center options that are really realistic through, the trade market, or some backup centers through free agency, right? But he has a channel, I'm pretty sure it's called Lakers Lounge. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm sorry that I wasn't able to post this on time, because I've been very busy pretty much posting, draft content, focusing on some trades and free agency signings and stuff like that. But this is coming from Basketball Forever, and it's saying that the Los Angeles Lakers have been showing interest in centers like Nic Claxton, Robert Williams, the third Time Lord from the Portland Trailblazers, and Walker Kessler of the Utah Jazz are on the trade market, while also monitoring Brook Lopez and Clint Capella as a backups. Now, obviously, my favorite option is, Walker Kessler. I think that's plan A. If we can go get him, then do it. But the problem is Danny Ainge likes to play hardball, and he likes to overvalue his players. He's still going to want 2 first-round picks. If he could take, one of the protections off from, the Russell Westbrook trade, I believe it's like the 2027, then I'm going to include maybe Austin Reeves and maybe that first-round pick. We'll see, but I'm not including Dalton Connect and a first-round pick. That's just way too much. Obviously, regardless, the Lakers are going to have to overpay for center. But Walker Kessler, I'm pretty sure he's going to a contract year, and he's making around like $4.8 or $4.9 million. Pretty much you could just swap him and Dalton Connect, because Dalton is on contract for like the next, 3 years, I believe. And he's making around $4 million. So he's very cheap, asset-wise. But it's just, the draft capital that's a, concern, right? Now, plan B, I think, would be, Nic Claxton. I think he's really realistic. You got your GM in Sean Marks. He has a great relationship with, our GM, Rob Pelinka, the Los Angeles Lakers. That's how we're able to get Dorian Finney-Smith and that, trade. And they really value expiring contracts, right? That's why they picked the Lakers, expiring contracts in those 3 second-round picks involving D'Angelo Russell, Maxwell Lewis, for Dorian Finney-Smith. Obviously, Memphis did offer a lightly protected first-round pick and some other players, but they didn't want to take on long-term, salary, I believe, right? And, what do the Brooklyn Nets want to do? Because they have, 5, picks in total in this year's draft. One of them is the second-round pick, 36, and they have, 4, first-round picks. They're going to have to waste some guys. They're going to have to cut some guys. And I know their backup center in Day'Ron Sharpe, he's a restricted free agent, so he's going to be going to contract year. Maybe they're going to want to clear the deck, because it's are you going to really draft, 5 guys? You already have some young talent on your team, so it'll make perfect sense if you do trade Nic Claxton. He's 27 years of age. He could be your center for now, but also for the future. He's a Luka type of center that you want, a lob threat. He could defend in space, and he's switchable. He can guard and, go up against, point guards, right? Because that's why he's not really too big, and that's one of my major concerns with him, is that he's thin, he's light. He does weigh about 215 pounds, so that's one of the advantages, because he's not too heavy. So that's why he's easier for him to switch. but he's a lob threat. He'll be perfect in the pick and roll and can switch multiple positions. But he's a center that the Lakers have been linked to for a while. Obviously, Robert Williams, Time Lord, he hasn't been able to stay healthy, even dating back to the Boston Celtics days, but he was traded to the Portland Trailblazers a few years back. And ever since he got to Portland, it just seems like he hasn't been able to stay healthy. He's been going through concussion protocols, illnesses, or just staying on the bench and stuff like that. They've been going with the younger guys, with Donovan Clegan, obviously their veteran, player, DeAndre Ayton, and stuff like that. You got Jeremy Grant, who's a forward. But Robert Williams, he's very good when he's available, but I really don't care about that, your production, if you're not available to play. Best ability is availability. You get what I'm trying to say? So I think the risk is very high. The reward would be very low. But I'm not including a first-round pick. At most, I'll probably include some, second-round picks, right, with their GM. And Joe Cronin would want to deal with our GM Rob Pelinka and help the Los Angeles Lakers, because it seems like, Joe Cronin, he's always asking for a lot, right? And the Lakers don't really have a great relationship with, the Portland Trailblazers. But Rob Williams was a player that was linked to the Los Angeles Lakers. He could switch on to smaller guards. He's like 6'9", weighs about 249, 250 pounds. The only concern is that he's undersized. But he's a pretty good passer for a big. He's a lob threat. He's versatile. So he's the type of center that you want on this Los Angeles Lakers team as well. But also the backup center option isn't the greatest through free agency. I think, the best option might be Clint Capella. He's still a guy that could give you a double-double. He's still one of the better, offensive rebounders in the league. He's 31 years of age. Obviously, he's not the center from, the Houston Rockets days when they had, James Harden. But I believe any type of center that you get on this team, Luka Doncic is going to just make him look good. I'm hearing that the Lakers can maybe give him the taxpayer MLE, which is worth about $5.7 or $5.8 million. But I don't think the Lakers can have the full MLE, depending on what LeBron James does, if he does take a pay cut. But realistically, we're going to have the taxpayer MLE. Brook Lopez, he'll be a rental. Even you can argue the same case with Clint Capella. It's just that Clint Capella is 6 years younger, while Brook Lopez is 37 years of age. He's declining. Obviously, he's still a very good shot blocker, but there's times where the Milwaukee Bucks had to bench him, and he was struggling, right? But I think, the top of the list should be obviously Walker Kessler, and then Nic Claxton. But that's how I feel about today's, video and this report. Let me know in the comment section if you guys like my video. But yeah, man, I'm out of here. Peace. Cheers.